Welcome, my students. How are you? Today we will talk about punctuation, course book page number 110, 111 and workbook page number 74. Today we will talk about the quotation mark. Today we will talk about the quotation mark or the speech mark or the inverted comma. Here we have the quotation mark, علامات الاقتباس, quotation mark. Here we have the quotation mark and this is the sign of the quotation mark. هذه علامة الاقتباس. هيك بيكون شكلها. Here we have the opening quotation mark and here we have a closing quotation mark. So this is the quotation mark. Today we'll talk about the quotation mark and this is the sign of the quotation mark. The opening quotation mark and the closing quotation mark. هذا هو شكل علامة الاقتباس. Okay. Here we have a short poem. I will read it and then I will ask you two questions. بقرأها وأسألكم سؤالين. What they say. Children feel like the shining sun when the teacher say well done, and the happiest face they make is when father says I baked you favorite cake. Okay, the first question. What does the teacher say? What does the teacher say? Excellent. The teacher says well done. Good. Question number 2. What does father say? What does father say? What do you think? Good. Father says, I baked you favorite cake. So, number 1, the teacher says, well done. And father says, I baked you favorite cake. How do you know which words were spoken by the teacher and which by the father? How do you know which words were spoken by the teacher and which by father? كيف عرفنا إنه هذا الكلام من قبل الأب أو من قبل المعلمة؟ Excellent, because these words are between the quotation mark. These words are in the quotation mark or between the quotation mark. لأنه هاي الجمل موجودة بين الquotation mark. Here we have well done. Look, well done. Here we have the opening quotation mark and here we have the closing quotation mark. Here. Look here. So this is the opening and this is the closing quotation mark. And here again we have the quotation mark, the opening and the closing. So from the signs of the quotation mark, من علامات الاقتباس, we know that these words are spoken by the teacher or the father. من هاي علامة الاقتباس عرفنا إنه هذا الكلام أو هذه الكلمات هي للمعلمة أو للأب. هي well done and I baked you favorite cake. So, can you tell me, my students, when do we use the quotation mark? When do we use the quotation mark? إمتى نستخدم علامات الاقتباس? When do we use the quotation mark? We use the quotation marks only when we use the exact words of the speaker. When we use the exact words of the speaker. لما بدنا ننقل الكلام المتحدث زي ما هو. Okay, let's see. Here we have a boy and he said that good morning. The boy said good morning. Now I will write the exact word. رح أكتب الكلام نفسه اللي حكى the boy الولد using the quotation mark باستخدام quotation mark. First, I will write the name of the speaker. First, we have the name of the speaker, the boy. Okay? So, the boy. Then, I will write the verb said. قال. Said. After said, here we have comma. So, first we have the name of the speaker اسم المتحدث the boy, the girl, Molly. Okay, and then we have the verb sit قال, and here we have the comma. This comma separates the word of the speaker and the name of the speaker. تفصل اسم المتحدث عن الكلام اللي حكاه هذا المتحدث. So we start with the name of the speaker, اسم المتحدث, and we have the verb sit, comma, it's very important here. We have comma separated the name of the speaker and the word of the speaker, كلامه and اسمه. Then we have the opening quotation mark. نفتح علامات أول واحدة علامة الاقتباس. Then we have the exact word. نفس الكلام المتحدث. The exact word. Look, here we have good morning and here we have good morning and we start with capital letter. At the end, we have the closing quotation mark. We have the closing quotation mark. So, we use the speech mark to talk about the exact word of the speaker. لما نحكي عن كلام المتحدث مثل ما هو. So, we start with the name of the speaker. Then we have the verb sit. And we have the comma. It's very important. We have the comma. We have here the opening quotation mark. The exact word. كلام زي ما هو بنقله. And here we have the closing quotation mark. The closing quotation mark. There is another way to write this sentence. نكتب هاي الجملة كمان في طريقة أخرى. We start with the speaker words. بنبلش بالكلام اللي حكاه المتحدث. Then we have the name of the speaker. Here we have this is the second way. هاي طريقة أخرى لكتابة الجملة باستخدام علامات الاقتباس quotation mark. We start with the words of the speaker, okay, using the opening quotation mark, and here we have the closing quotation mark. We write the exact word of the speaker. نكتب نفس الكلام للمتحدث good morning, and we start with capital letter. We start the words of the speaker. دائما الكلام المتحدث نكتبه ب capital letter. We start with the words with capital letter. Good morning, comma. Instead of the full stop, we write the comma, and we have the verb said, the boy. And here are two ways using the quotation mark. هذول طريقتين اللي لكتابة الجمل باستخدام quotation mark. Okay, let's go to the workbook page number 110. Workbook page number 110. Here we start with the two examples from the fable. مثالين من الحكاية اللي أخذناها. What is the matter? She asked. Look here. Here we have the opening quotation mark, the closing quotation mark. Here we have the words of the speaker, كلام المتحدث. We start with capital letter. And she asked. So, what did she ask? Excellent. She asked, what is the matter? Okay. From the quotation mark, we know the words of the speaker. نستطيع إنه نعرف كلام المتحدث أو كلمات المتحدث بشكل مثل ما هم. The second example, here we have, what did the animals say? The animals said the earth is breaking apart. Okay? How do we know? From the quotation mark. كيف عرفنا الكلام اللي حكوه إلى الحيوانات؟ From the quotation mark. Again, here we have the opening quotation mark, and here we have the closing quotation mark, and these are the words of the animals. هاي الكلمات تماما مثل ما حكوها الحيوانات. We start with capital letter, And here we have the exclamation marks علامة التعجب before the closing mark quotation mark نكتبهم قبل ال quotation. Okay, and here we have the verb said. So we use the quotation marks or inverted commas هاي هم شكلهم زي ما حكينا to show the words actually spoken by someone حتى إنه نعرض الكلام اللي حكاه المتحدث مثل ما هو بدون أي تغيير. تمام؟ to show the words actually spoken by someone حتى إنه نعرض الكلام المتحدث كما هو. Look carefully at the punctuation marks used in these sentences. Look here at these two examples. Amy said, here we have the name of the speaker, اسم المتحدث Amy, and here we have the verb said, comma, the opening quotation mark, the words of the speaker, هذا هو الكلام اللي حكته Amy, full stop, and here we have the closing quotation mark. And you have to know that we start with capital letter. We start the words of the speaker with capital letter. لازم نبلشها بcapital letter. Here we have the second way. الطريقة الثانية. We start with the quotation mark, the opening quotation mark, the words of the speaker, كلام المتحدث. We start with capital letter. Today is a holiday. Comma, the closing quotation mark, the verb said, and here we have the name of the speaker. These are two ways to write the words of the speaker كلام المتحدث باستخدام quotation mark. Okay, here we have number of rules. We have to understand them, so I will talk about them using an example. رح أحكي عنهم باستخدام example حتى نفهمهم بطريقة أفضل. Here we have the example. Here we have the girl and she asked, what is your name? Now I will write these words. رح أرجع أكتب هاي الكلمات باستخدام الكوتيشن مارك ورح أركز على القواعد اللي مهمة للكوتيشن مارك. Let's start. Here we have the name of the speaker, the girl. المتحدث مين؟ الجيرل. And here we have the verb asked لأن هي عم تسأل. Asked يسأل أو سأل. Okay. The first rule and the first important rule اللي هي الكوما. So the first rule الكوما. اللي حكينا separate the name of the speaker تفصل اسم المتحدث عن words that the speaker asked or said. حكاها المتحدث عن كلمات حكاها المتحدث. So number 1 comma. We write the comma. Number 2, this is the opening quotation mark. Opening quotation mark. We write or we start with the capital letter. Capital letter. The punctuation. Maybe a full stop, maybe question mark, exclamation mark. علامة الترقيم لازم تكون قبل closing quotation mark سواء كانت علامة تعجب نقطة أو علامة الاستفهام. So this is the punctuation. Punctuation mark. As we said, question mark, full stop or exclamation mark. علامة التعجب لازم تكون قبل نهاية quotation mark, and we end with the closing quotation mark. So these are the important rules for the writing using the quotation mark. نكتب أو نستخدم quotation mark. Number 1 comma. Okay, here, and we start with the opening quotation mark, capital letter, punctuation mark, full stop, question mark or exclamation mark, and we end with the closing quotation mark. Here are the rules in page number 110. Okay, so these rules we talked about in this example. Okay, for the work course book, page number 111, add the missing quotation marks in the sentences. Add the missing quotation marks in the sentences. In this exercise طبعا نضيف علامات اقتباس من quotation mark. Okay, we have to know the words that the speaker said. لازم نحدد الكلمات اللي تكلم بها أو حكاها الشخص معين. And then we will put the quotation marks, the opening quotation mark and the closing quotation mark. Let's go to number 1. The hare shouted, "The earth is breaking apart." So, where are the words that the hare said? Excellent. The earth is breaking apart. So, we will start with the opening quotation mark and we will end with the closing quotation mark. After the punctuation طبعا احنا بده يكون ال closing quotation mark بعد علامة الترقيم، سواء كانت exclamation mark زي ما احنا شايفين علامة التعجب أو question mark أو full stop. And here we have the comma and here we have the capital letter T. Let's go to number 2. What is the matter? Asked the rhinoceros. So, where are the words that the rhinoceros asked with? Good. Here we have the what is the matter? We start with the opening quotation mark and we end with the closing quotation mark. And here again we have the punctuation, we have the capital letter. Okay, and here we have the quotation mark. Number 3. The lioness asked, "Who started this rumor?" Good. Here we are the words that the lioness asked with. So we will put the quotation mark. Here we have the punctuation, capital letter, and the comma. Let's go to number 4. The hare said, "I hear the noise with my own ears." So here are the words of the speaker. هذا هو كلام المتحدث. This is the opening quotation mark. And here we have the closing quotation mark. Again, here we have the punctuation, full stop, capital letter, and comma. Number 5. Don't listen to rumors, said the lioness. What did the lioness say? Don't listen to rumors. Good. So we will put the quotation mark to select these words. نحدد هاي الكلمات اللي حكاها الليونس أو حكتها الليونس. Okay. Again, capital letter and comma. Capital letter and comma. And here we have the opening quotation mark, the closing quotation mark. The last thing, here we have the workbook. Okay, rewrite the sentences using the correct punctuation. The first one has been done for you. The correct punctuation علامة الترقيم المناسبة رح نستخدمها هي الquotation mark. Okay, the correct punctuation رح نستخدم علامة أو quotation mark علامات الاقتباس. Here we have the first example. Dad asked, "Where are you?" Okay, we start with the name of the speaker, اسم المتحدث, asked, comma, opening quotation mark, capital letter, the exact word, نفس الكلام, punctuation, the question mark, and we have the closing quotation mark. Let's do number 2. How are you? Asked Nate. Okay, what did Nate ask? How are you? So, these words are between the quotation mark. رح يكونوا بين ال quotation mark مع علامات الاقتباس. Let's see how. Look here. We start with the opening quotation mark. Here we have the capital letter. How are you? Here we have the punctuation, the question mark, علامة الترقيم علامة السؤال. And here we have the ending or the closing quotation mark. And asked Nate. Let's go to number 3. Mom and I are going by bus, said Sally. Where are the words that Sally say? ايش كلمات اللي حكتهم سالي؟ هم mom and I are going by bus. So we will put them in the quotation mark. نضعهم بالquotation mark like this. The opening quotation mark, capital letter, mom and I are going by bus, the same words, نفس الكلمات, comma, the closing quotation mark, and here we have said Sally. Number 4, I am feeling much better. Thank you, said Bobby. What did Bobby say? I am feeling much better, thank you. So we will put these words, نحط الكلمات بعلامات الاقتباس in this way. The opening quotation mark, then we have the capital letter. I am feeling much better, thank you. The exact words, نفس الكلمات, comma, and here we have the ending quotation mark, said Bobby. The last example in this video, number 5, Kay asked, can you help me please? What did Kay ask? إيش اللي سألته؟ الكلمات حقتها. Can you help me please? So we will put them in the quotation mark. نضعهم بعلامات الاقتباس. So like this. Kay asked, comma, opening quotation mark, capital letter, can you help me please? Then we have the question mark and we have the closing quotation mark. We will write the same words. So these are the answers for number 2, 3, 4, and 5. For number 6, 7, and 8, these are homework. So these are homework. Please answer them in the exact way. بنفس الطريقة يلي حلينا فيها النقاط السابقة. Number 5, Dad called out from downstairs. Hurry up, we have to be there on time. حدد الكلام اللي حكى المتحدث and then put them in the quotation mark. Number 7, it's raining so heavily, Aunt Anya exclaimed. I love this dress, said Bella. Please select the words of the speaker, حدد الكلام اللي حكاه المتحدث and then put them in the quotation mark. Don't forget the comma, the capital letter, and the punctuation. Thank you, my students.